Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Jeff Jones Customs. Today we're doing some more work on the front bumper of this 61 C10 Apache. What I wanted to do is I wanted to shave the bumper bolts so it matched the rear. Here, I'll walk around here and show you what I'm talking about. The rear one, you'll notice there's no exposed bolts. It's because they've all been shaved off. And basically what you do is you know, this one I did a bunch of weird stuff to. Like, it's got a brace welded in that goes to the frame here, and then up here you'll see a series of bolts that bolt it to that rear cross member in the rear of the bed. So that allowed me to tuck it in close to the body and just smooth it off and get rid of, you know, this kind of look, you know, the truck look, bumper bolts hanging out all over the place. And so today I got the bumper over here, and I'm going to show you how I do this. And there's a ton of ways you can do this. A lot of guys cut up carriage bolt and you know, weld half of it on and then grind off the other side and then weld on the other half. I like a lot of times just to cut a regular old bolt, stack up some washers, and introduce it from the back side and weld it in, because then there's plenty of weld gap in there to get good penetration, and then you just kind of grind it off, and you know, you wind up with something like that. And these always pull in a bit when you weld them, so that might look like it needs to be ground more, but it's actually really good. That's a low spot, because when everybody tightens these, they tend to pull them and they dimple in. So I tend to leave it a little what looks a little proud here, but this bumper is going to be a painted bumper, so it'll just be bondoed. And this is a very heavy bumper. This thing is at least a full 1/8 inch thick, so I don't think I'm going to have any problems with it pulling and exposing the location the bumper bolts were, because I mean, it hasn't done it on the back one yet. And in doing this, I eliminated the side braces too, but I'm going to put some more in there, so that in itself is going to minimize the possibility of it bouncing around and pulling a spot to where you could tell the bolts were. I'm sure if I tap into somebody, it will be exposed at that point, but I'll have other problems then too. So anyways, I'll show you real quick how we weld one of these in. And sorry about the fancy camera work here. Not really a YouTube guy. I'm a hot rod builder. So I'm running my Harbor Freight welder here. You see it right there. You've seen it in other videos. I refer to it as my go-to machine. It's really been a great little welder. And I'm running 023 wire in here, because 023 is smaller wire, and it'll allow you to weld sheet metal as well. And on the heavy stuff, I just burn it in a little hotter, and my dwell time seems to be a bit longer on it, but it works for me. So here we go. I'll just show you how you tack one of these in. And then at that point, you want to position it on the truck and make sure that it looks right for you, and before you fully weld it, because it's a lot easier to cut it out partway done than fully done. So like I said, I stack up a bunch of washers to help me with the placement of it, and then I just hold it up from the back side and zap it into place. I don't think I'm grounded. Bear with me, technical difficulties. Okay, I think we're back in business. And at this point, you'd test fit it on the truck, and if you're happy with the results, then you grind it off and put it on. Another thing on this one I'll show you, because you don't want to just go ahead and weld on all the bumper bolts, because the problem comes is you see that they will mount here at different angles. Well, so the holes in your bracket are this far apart, but the ends of the bolts are this far apart, so you'll have problems with placement. Usually you just slot a bolt hole or relocate a bracket or remake something at that point. Another way you can do it is, it might be the way I do it on the black truck, is just weld the brackets themselves to the bumper and then plug weld up all the holes. But anyways, that's all for now, guys. Any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below, and please like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.